Oneyplays with friends.
No.
I remember one time I was hanging out with this girl that
There's plenty of people who don't feel bad about it.
No, you know, I was hanging out with this girl. I'm like, oh, she's so hot, and she's like, ha, I stole this like sweater the other day, and I was like, what? Okay. She's like, yeah, these people who own these stores, like, they don't even get affected. Like, it's a big chain. I'm like, they're gonna get fired because of you fucking idiot.
I think I was getting another job.
It's the most unattractive thing ever. My parents own shops too, so it like hit home.
Yeah.
I
fucking
hate
bitch.
Dude.
Yeah.
When it's a thing with kids, like I expect it at least, but it's when if
No,
you're
she was
talking-
like 20.
Yeah, that's the thing. If you're talking to adults who are still doing that kind of thing, that's when it's
They're not
worrying.
stable people.
Yeah. Because I knew somebody years back who every single day would brag like, yeah, I went to a party and I stole I stole like 3
I
laptops.
stayed with these fucking scumbags in college, and they were like, oh, we went to a party last night, stole an iPod. It's like, you're fucking idiots. And I started locking my door after that. I was really fucking worried. And then they were like, why didn't you ever hang out with us?
It doesn't make you look cool.
Because I don't want to fucking get robbed from you fucking psychos. They're like, Chris used to hang out with us. Now he just locks himself in his room. It's like, yeah, it's because you steal from people.
Mm-hmm. You don't want to be an alibi.
And I don't want to bring it up with you because a normal, mentally stable person wouldn't do that. So I don't know what you're capable of if bringing up something like that.
Well, yeah, they say, that sucks. Let's steal from him.
Yeah, pretty much. Let's beat the shit out of him. He knows our secret.
Let's fucking kill him.
I'd say there's like a turning point for people that if they haven't changed with that sort of thing, you can kind of expect them to never grow out of it.
He was like 24. He should have known better.
Yeah,
Oh my God.
Exactly. I'd say around like 20.
Yeah, if that's
22.
still going on.
The other fucking
I'm gonna say
dork.
14. Like, before you even hit 20, you should not be.
I think
able to do
early 20s, there can still be a little bit of a window where people might.
Yeah,
have
you
like a
can
high
still
school
mature at that
mentality.
point, but
Yeah.
then it's like
But
they're not gonna want to.
yeah,
Is the thing.
super early 20s.
If I knew someone who was over 16 stealing shit, I wouldn't trust them ever again.
that. Yeah. I mean, it's malicious, but it has to be really harsh
You
lessons.
should know
for them to
better by
change.
that point. I don't care if you're a fucking teenager.
The most I ever stole was my friend's Pokemon, and he said I could earlier, but I just stole his Game Boy from his backpack while he was in detention. Then he got really mad because I did it without his permission, and I felt so bad I never stole again in my life.
Some people just literally don't have a conscience.
You know how schools do those things where like, oh, we don't want to, we have to raise money by having kids sell candy bars, and I just fucking I brought back one of the boxes that we were supposed to sell, and I just ate all the candy bars.
Oh really?
It was really like I was really ashamed of it too. And my mom was like really mad. She was like, I have to fucking pay for all this now because you didn't fucking sell the candy bars.
Yeah, well, like, that's candy bars from fucking school. I despise school so much. So much.
School is, I'm so happy that I never have to do it again.
Yeah.
I still have nightmares.
Of course.
I have so much nightmares. It fucks you up. It's not good.
Do you have dreams that you're back at school and
Yeah.
you never finished?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's always dreams that you were like, oh, there's a test you didn't prepare for, or like, I've literally had I've had dreams, and I know that it's such a cliche, but I've had the dream where it's like, oh, you thought you were done with school, but turns out you didn't actually graduate, and now you got to go back, and you forgot everything, so you're gonna do really poorly.
I mean, that's the sort of dream. The thing is, I don't have it like, oh, actually, now you need to go back. Usually what I have is like, oh, yeah, you never finished, and you're still waiting on this one thing, so you're like 26, and you're going back in, like, oh, haha, you still had one test you needed to do.
Yeah.
I had those ones where you like I've been going to school this whole time, but I forgot everything, and I can't find my classes, and I have all these tests lined up, and I'm just like, I feel like an idiot.
I think
I'm
the worst
scared.
one I had as a dream was that I was back in school again, and I had already repeated like 3 years already, and I was like 29 in the dream. I was older for some reason, and the idea was like, oh yeah, you're going to have to keep repeating for like 6 more years to make up all the classes that you hadn't taken before.
Did I ever tell you about the nightmare moment I had in real life? Where it was so outlandish and crazy, it could have just been a nightmare that I would wake up from, but it was real.
Tell us.
Where I was walking downtown, and I came across this guy that I barely knew in school, and I used to just stop and say hello to everybody, just be nice. And then I said like, yo dude, how are you doing? He's like, not good. And I'm like, why not? He's like, I got cancer. I'm
my
gonna
God.
die in 2 years, dude. I'm like,
That's the Always Sunny pilot.
no, but this was real. And he's like, I'm gonna die in 2 years. And I was like, what? He's like, it's not, I can't do this. I was like, what? I'm so sorry. He's like, it's not, fuck you. And he like walked away. And I was like, what the fuck?
Jesus.
Yeesh.
It was bad.
That's heavy.
And I was like, Jesus, was that real? It was weird.
The only nightmares I have recently are pretty much like incompetent nightmares. Like
Really?
back home, I used to make sandwiches at my family's store for a living, and I would just be struggling on this one sandwich. This is the nightmare part. I'm struggling on this one sandwich, and I'm burning the bread. I'm burning the meat constantly. I don't have the right ingredients. Suddenly, I have the right ingredients, and I'm fucking it up constantly. It's like that fear. It's like you know you can do it, but you just can't. That's like my biggest fear for some reason.
Yeah.
Like panicking. I'm not very spiders. I like clowns.
You like spiders?
Yeah.
Oh. I don't.
Or spiders. Everybody squishes them.
I like jumping spiders.
Because I
They're
get bit
cute.
by them all the time, Julian.
So quit being bitten.
Yeah, quit looking like a
Good
fly.
advice.
I like daffodil.
I like DAFU.
DAFU.
Do you like the way they're all drooling, Julian?
Yeah. I like when ghosts have big, goofy tongues.
I like
when
when
I
ghosts
kiss you?
drool on my cock. What?
Tasty.
Why,
Shameful.
Drooling is my fetish.
why are the toilets shit sludge covered?
Because it's actually not slime. That's the peanut poop. Wait, which one is it? I have to go to the girls' room and jump through it.
Go to the little girl's room.
Nice. Spicy.
Smells like
maybe it's
shit
not-
in
I
here.
forgot what this one is.
Mama mia.
It might be upstairs. You might have to like climb the pink ones.
The farts in here are stinky.
Because you shove your hand up.
Oh
your
wow,
pee.
you can
What would
turn
you
them-
do if you died and you came back as a pink boo and then somebody turned you into a block and jumped on you?
I mean, they look relaxed.
They
Maybe
they,
like it.
they do it because they're shy.
It would probably ruin my day, and then I forget about it a week later.
Probably. I mean, you've been around for thousands of years, probably.
True.
Oh my god.
Yes. Well, this one's not spinning.
You know, as you get older, time starts going faster.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah,
the-
once as you're a ghost, you're probably
No, but-
everything goes by in a blur.
Is that like an actual thing that just is that a real thing?
I think it's.
Oh yeah,
really-
that's a real phenomenon.
Your brain
Yeah.
gets more developed
That's
and time
true.
gets changed.
Like does like why?
That's why like 15-minute cartoons are long to kids.
Because you have a bigger frame of reference. You get to be like, oh, I've been alive for fucking
Yeah.
80 years. One day doesn't matter.
I used to
anymore.
be so fucking impatient as a kid.
No, me
Yeah.
too.
I remember when fucking a half hour would feel like an eternity.
5 minutes was painful for me.
I remember.
I remember I was waiting to go to school, and I was told, oh, 5 minutes. And I grabbed a whole thing of paper, and I was drawing a straight line through because I was like, oh, I'm gonna measure the time then.
Yeah.
I went through like half of a sketchbook just drawing a line because I was so fucking impatient. I hated waiting for anything, but now I'm very patient.
I'm
I
pretty
can-
patient.
I can play the Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy for 10 hours.
I'm not that
to
patient.
do
That's
to do one
no,
fucking
but that's
time trial.
that's a problem-solving task that could pass time. I'm more patient.
That
than
wasn't
you.
even problem solving. The one that I was trying to do was just
You were just head
Yeah.
shoving your head.
could
because
sit on a-
they made the time on it so tight that you can be a millisecond off and have
That
to do
was
it
the
again.
lab, right?
I could
Yeah,
sit on a
the lab.
plane for 8 hours and just get lost in my thoughts.
The lab was very, very difficult. All the other ones weren't that bad.
Did you ever do that?
What?
You ever just sit there doing nothing and just get lost in your mind, thinking about shit?
I mean, that's what I do. with
I used to, but I've
No,
gotten,
you still do.
I've gotten very no. I'm always doing something.
That's usually
No,
what I
you'll stare
do.
forward because you're lost in thought.
Well, that's when I'm talking. And
No, but I'm
we're,
saying like, have you ever
talking
sat
about
down
stuff,
for a
so I
few
think-
hours and done literally nothing and just
No.
think about
No.
shit? I have to do that every time I go back to Ireland. It's really, really, really boring, but
Is the internet still shit in Ireland?
yeah. Can I want to play.
Yeah, sure.
These are the only ones I want to play.
Yeah,
The internet's not so great here.
Way
We have
better than
problems with it
Ireland.
all the time.
Ireland's internet is disgustingly terrible.
I'm sure it
Here's
is.
pretty bad, though,
Australia is
so-
supposed to be really, really shitty.
Really?
Yeah, I have a friend in
Australia, I think, is some of the worst I've heard of.
What the fuck is that?
That's a little pinko. You guys.
Those are the guys I talked about that
Yeah,
they
they-
poop on you.
They also steal your hat. if they step on you.
It is,
Upload
yeah.
rate is shit almost everywhere in California.
Because they don't want you to be torrenting.
Yes, exactly.
But that's
Because California, California, the rate here sucks. It's like, was it 2?
it's like
MP
2.5 megabits
yeah,
per second.
it's fucking garbage. Because 2 is the ceiling they set for us, and we're paying extra for like their special service. It doesn't even hit 2. It's usually at 1. It's awful. And in Chicago, I had it at like 50.
It's always big cities that suck.
What?
We,
For some reason.
I mean, we just
What was that?
you had to adjust the camera.
What, really?
Yeah, it was tricking you.
I have my buddy in Buffalo. He showed us his upload rate, download rate. It's like 500 megabytes a second.
Oh my god.
Like megabits. I'm sorry, but
They
You
were
can ground pound the watermelons.
oh yeah, you can.
they were
How do I do
saying
that?
they might try
jumping
to
out.
they might try to introduce Google Fiber out here, but
Not for a while.
yeah, I would
I
imagine.
mean, they're still working it in New York. It's one of those things. Like only small towns have it.
Yeah, exactly.
Is that sand?
Oh no, that's
gonna roll.
It's gonna roll, yeah.
Oh.
But it's gonna move on its own. It's not physics.
Oh no.
Yeah. It's fucking terrifying. I hate it.
At least it's not physics.
Whoa! Fuck you, Mario.
I am gonna have a heart
That was
attack.
bullshit. That was. Ah!